What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. We're going to be taking another look at this Plathville show on TLC, which is about a family of fundamentalists. I believe that's what they're called. Basically, these parents, if you missed my first video, you can go back and watch it. I made it earlier this week, but these parents don't want their kids to be leaving outside into the normal world. They just want them to stay here, work on their farm the rest of their lives, and not really learn anything about the world or themselves. So yeah, they're robbing their children of a normal life pretty much. And in this episode, now that we have the introductions out of the way of the entire family, I know that was a bit confusing last episode, we can truly see just how vile these parents are. I mean, the torment they're bringing their kids through for absolutely no reason other than controlling them is just ridiculous. So without further ado, make sure you watch until the very end of this one because it's gonna be an infuriating ride and I need you there with me, okay? But anyways, let's get right into it and just see what's going on with this family. You're gonna be shocked at what they do in this episode.
We were gonna make groupier floats.
Yeah!
Goofing around, eating with my siblings, whacking with them. That's, something that I haven't done in a while.
So that's Ethan talking, remember, the one that's married and moved on outside into the normal world, aka he moved down the street into the next house with his wife. But still, just because of the fact that he married someone and moved out away from the farm, his parents resent him for that. And because of it, whenever they are gone, he is not allowed to go visit his siblings. And I'm sure if they are there and he goes to visit them, they place all these restrictions on things they can do. So what does he do? He waits till they go on their little anniversary trip and comes over, and this is his rebellious thing he does. He brings root beer over to make root beer floats for the kids, who many of which have never had before, which is just absolutely insane to me. Again, I don't think every kid should be out here drinking sugar, but if you make your kids fearful of everything in the world, it almost has the opposite effect once they reach adulthood. It makes them want to just have that stuff even more and makes them want to rebel. Like, screw you, I'm gonna go drink all the freaking root beer that I could ever ingest in one day. So yeah, that's what the main part of this episode is about, is that Ethan, the oldest son, came over to visit his younger siblings. Wait till you see how much of an issue that is for these parents, which is a ridiculous thing to say. You'd think that you'd want your kids to be all hanging out together, especially once your kid is an adult. That's got to be pretty cool that he's wanting to come back and hang out with his younger siblings still. I think that's something most parents would be elated to see.
Ethan, Olivia, Micah, and I are all gonna start a band together.
Well, why don't you pick like your favorite song? And you can play it for us on the guitar tonight. We can try to start learning it.
So another main point of this episode is the older kids, Micah, Mariah, and Ethan want to start a band, a country band, because, that's about the edgiest of music that they listen to. Trust me, I'm not even joking here. He's about to comment on that. But they want to start a band and include their younger brother, who I think is now 13 or so, which should not be an issue. Like, when would that ever be an issue, wanting to share the gift of music with your family and partake in something that's a group activity that everyone's enjoying and pushing themselves and, like, learning new things? That seems like the perfect thing you'd want your kids to all be going together and doing once they reach adulthood, again, from the parents' point of view, but instead it's their worst freaking nightmare, and they just want to keep them separate for some reason, simply because this guy went out and got married. And if you want to hear just how controlling these parents are real quick, Ethan's about to tell this story. I'm going to skip part of it, but he basically says that when growing up, they were only allowed to listen to Southern gospel music, which is fine. That falls in line with their beliefs. They were not allowed to listen to a single shred of any other type of genre, not even jazz or anything, which is like old and boring as well, When Ethan was younger, he found a radio in the trash that his dad threw away, and because he's just on the farm with nothing to do all day, he figured out how to freaking fix it, and listen what he did with it. You'd think, oh, he went and listened to some metal or something and discovered that he likes Slayer. That's what a normal kid would do, like he would branch out and find some extreme genre to, go against his parents' wishes and fall in love with that. But nope, he's still pretty vanilla.
Then I started listening to classic country. I definitely felt naughty. Definitely felt naughty doing that.
Yeah, I don't even want to know what my parents would do if they found me listening to old country music. Oh man, that's the devil's music, and I probably shouldn't ever be listening to old country. I felt really bad listening to that stuff on my little radio. Like, dude, chill out. It's old country, man. Like, this dude is thinking he's super edgy because he listened to country music. That's how repressed these children are, okay? That's just something that you need to have for perspective on this family and how limited they are in their worldview and their access to the outside world. It's absolutely sad, and these parents are robbing them of everything involving with culture, just the way the world works. They don't know how any of this stuff works, man. And a treat to them is a single root beer float in their life 20 years in and some country music. That sucks. So then, as a bit of a surprise, Ethan and his wife come over because they found out that the parents came home, and at first they weren't going to talk with them, but they came back because they wanted to have a conversation about, you know, the possibility of that other brother being in their band, which again seems like something super fun that a family should be enjoying together, music, you know. But this conversation goes south very quickly, and this is where you're going to be very infuriated with these people.
I know it really hurts Ethan not being able to see his siblings.
Yeah, we may have to put a bookmarker in it and say, we need to wait on Isaac.
I mean, you have these kids grouped together, literally begging their family, like, please, it really hurts us to not see each other. You're keeping us apart for no reason other than control and to make yourselves feel important. Why can we not see our siblings and play country music with them once a week on some acoustic guitars? How bad can that freaking be? And then the dad has this stuff where you're gonna see throughout this series, as I keep making these videos, that both these parents are so passive aggressive, especially in the way that they speak. They speak in all these weird terms where they're kind of beating around the bush. And to be honest, it just freaking annoys me, like, to no end. The dad's like, yeah, well, let's circle back. We'll just put a bookmark in it and hold off until we have some more, you know, teamwork, some more synergy between us. Like, it sounds like some corporate talk, just BS that you'll hear in every email if you ever work for a company where they're trying to, like, you know, get on the employees about something without sounding like they're a controlling, you know, just evil corporation. I used to get emails like this all the time at Best Buy that had wording like this. It's just so annoying, man. Like, say what you want to say. You beating around the bush like this is just annoying and shows that you're a coward. But yeah, basically this conversation is Ethan and his wife against his parents, but you'll see based off of Ethan's body language that he is an absolute wuss as well and is so intertwined in this, you know, family dynamic of toxicity that he actually is facing his wife and kind of stands next to his dad and ends up siding with them for the most part just to try to get the whole interaction over with. He's that much of a coward that he's not willing to support his wife that he moved out with and should be supporting 24/7, especially when she's in the right here and is like, yo, let your kids hang out together. Just because you don't like me doesn't mean that your oldest son can't see his siblings. That's messed up. And instead, Ethan's like, maybe we should just talk about it later. Yeah, I think dad's right. I think we should just go, honey. Like, shut up, dude. You're such a coward.
Do you think that there might be some blind spots that you're missing?
On everyone's part. And
Well, we all
anytime
have
you
them. It's character type things that may be occurring that you don't see.
And listen to how this dude freaking worded this. He's basically saying to this woman's face, I don't like your character. You have a lot of character flaws, and I don't think we'll ever have a relationship because of it. That's basically what he's saying, okay? I know it's hard to, you know, figure it out through all his cryptic talking because he's such a coward that he won't even say that to her face, you know, legitimately, even though he legit does think that. You know, both of them look down on this woman because she wasn't raised on this farm and, you know, goes out and occasionally does normal things that a 20-year-old would do. You know, she possibly wants to get tattoos down the road. She's a normal person, and because of that, they hate her. You know, the mom is super resentful, like, oh, he has another woman in his life. So now they're just punishing him by basically talking down to his wife in front of him, saying that she has all these character flaws. And look at this guy. He just has his head down like a good little boy next to his daddy, like, oh crap, I should probably stand up for her, but I'm too scared. Like, this whole dynamic is so frustrating, dude. This family is insane. Again, this is over their brother coming over to their house down the road once a week to play some country music on their guitars.
Everything that was being said, I just wished so bad that I could leave.
You can laugh all you want, Ethan, but this is probably what's going to lead you to a divorce eventually if you keep being a coward and won't stand up for your wife in situations where it's entirely appropriate and I might say required. I mean, this is literally a gang attack against your girlfriend right here, or wife, sorry. Your parents are literally talking down to her in such a way that is just so disrespectful. I would probably be in tears if I was this girl just being talked down to like this simply because you want your husband to, you know, hang out with your sibling-in-laws. It's just terrible all around. Screw these parents, bro. I'm infuriated.
They were telling us, we want Isaac in the band. Isaac's gonna be in the band. He's a child, he's 13. I have a problem with being told what my son's gonna do.
And that's the root of it right here. These are the type of people that would not be wearing masks this past year, and not because of some stupid, you know, crap they saw on Facebook that's just some lie made up by people trying to militarize stupidity in America. No, they would be not wearing masks simply because the government told them to do something and they don't like being told what to do. That's how immature these people are in their 50s or whatever, how old they are. The lady's got gray hair. This dude, again, looks like he's just, you know, 1 foot out of the grave, Skeletor looking ass. But they just simply don't like being told what to do, even though they're not being told. The kids are very respectfully like, please, can we just see our brother and have him come over to play country music with us? And instead they're like, no, you're demanding that we do this, and we're not gonna succumb to your control, okay? We're just gonna do what we want, and that's to lock our kids away from the outside world and screw them over. Just entirely, just ruin their lives. That's what we want to do, all right? And no one's gonna let us do differently. So yeah, the conversation goes on. They belittle this woman more and more, and it just continues with their, beating around the bush talk. Like, maybe we'll circle back on this later when some of these flaws that you might be, blind to, might be a little bit of a blind spot. When those are fixed, or maybe you hopefully get a divorce, then Ethan can come see his brothers and sisters, all right? Which is just a ridiculous stance to take, but I'm not gonna go much further in this fight. What I am gonna show in the end here is poor Lydia, Mom 2.0, I call her, freaks out and literally has what I would call a mental breakdown as a result of this fight, which just shows how much tension these kids are between. Like, yes, this is on a TLC show where they're just showing their life and it's supposed to be, all fine and dandy, like, ooh, look how good of a family we are. But this is some serious traumatic mental stuff that this girl is going through directly as a result of her parents just being closed-minded and immature.
I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Oh, Father. I know you can heal them. Please. Just please help my family to put
Lydia.
together again. Yes?
And look, everyone's entitled to their own religious beliefs. I would never knock you for that. But when your child is reacting to a situation like this by running barefoot into the woods, screaming at the sky, pleading with God to fix your family that is falling apart in front of you, that is some traumatic stuff you're going through, bro. That is not a normal thing. And again, I think this looks like a little bit of a mental breakdown from Lydia. The pressure is just too much in this family. And literally everyone hates each other for no reason, simply because the parents want it that way. It's ridiculous, man. Like, if you don't think that these parents are messed up, I don't know, maybe you just think that you should raise your kids the same way, but I do not agree with any of this, and I think it's disgusting that they're putting these kids through this and separating them simply because one of them wanted to leave the ranch. Just such an insane episode, and it just gets worse from here on out. Again, this is fairly early on in this series. The development that these kids go through and the amount of turmoil that this family has over the smallest little trivial things, like having the siblings hang out once a night for country music playing, it's just mind-blowing. So make sure you keep watching this series if you're into it. Let me know if you have been enjoying these episodes down below and what you thought of this one specifically. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And as always, I'll catch you all in the next video. That about does it for this one though. So until next time, peace out.